This chapter changes everything. Probably the most important chapter of the manga's history. There's only a few moments throughout the story of Oshinoko that might come close to it, but Oshinoko chapter 132 legitimately has quite the twist. But before I get into this, I do want to talk about this news that came out. That apparently there is new information and a very important announcement for Oshinoko coming out in a few days. On November 26th, today is the 21st of November, so a few more days from now, and we will get this announcement. Now, FYI, if you're wondering what this potentially could be, basically, we know that there is going to be a Season 2 of Oshinoko. It's already been announced when, Season 1 came to an end. But we really have no information. Like, here, I'll pull it up on my anime list here. There is, no information. We don't know when it's going to air, how many episodes it's going to be. We don't know anything like that. So because of that, it's been up in the air when it's going to air. Now, obviously, Oshinoko is a very popular anime. I think anyone that, has been watching anime this year has probably at least heard of it or seen a few memes from it. It definitely has blown up this year. So, it getting a Season 2 makes sense. It does. It was a very popular first season, made a lot of waves, and the first episode really garnered a lot of attention. So, this being Season 2 related news makes a little bit of sense. Now, what that news exactly will be is up in the air. And I want to talk about something that is very important here. So basically, this link here, if you want more information, this takes to the site, the Oshinoko website, and I just, can we talk about how great this, site looks? It, the way it opens up, you could just see, the way this was made really does, give that emotion of, this is Oshinoko. Oshinoko is entered into the real life or something. But, this trailer here basically links you to this, which is, the teaser saying that Season 2 has been announced. So, if we take all this and we kind of put it together, it's very clear that the upcoming information for November 26th is probably going to be a Season 2 related information, either a trailer, or maybe when it's going to release. If I had to take an educated guess, we'll probably get maybe a teaser trailer, a brief teaser trailer, and we'll probably get maybe, it's going to air in 2024, and it's not going to really tell us maybe when, but if it does, I could say maybe a summer release is when Oshinoko Season 2 will probably air. But, yeah, this was something I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to get this out of the way before I kind of get into the chapter, because I know there's a lot of people that are looking forward to Oshinoko, and I wanted to give you guys that information. Now, anyways, this chapter of Oshinoko, chapter 132, is legitimately insane for a few reasons. But the biggest reason here, out of, all of this, this whole chapter, is the fact that, we find out a lot about this character called Nino. She is an individual that, basically was a part of Bikomachi, Ai's idol group, and basically, we've heard rumors about her ever since the beginning of the story. We heard that, I got into a fight. There was, a disagreement between, members of the idol group, or at least one member at the very least, and she basically straight up was rude to Ai's face, just, was blunt to her. And we never really knew who exactly that was, but it was always in the air, and for years now, there has been basically, theories and discussion around a potential Bikomachi member being the reason why Ai died. Now, we know who technically killed Ai. It was, her late ex or whatever, but, pretty much, we know for a fact that there was a potential possibility there could have been someone else that was helping out. Kind of find out, that is indeed the case. The finale of this chapter, literally the final page, literally has where the character reveals that she, basically is working with Aqua and Ruby's father, aka the one that killed Ai. She literally mentions his name, and it's oh, okay, so she is a rat. She is a traitor. Now, why? Okay, well, if we look at what she's saying here, she basically says she cannot forgive anyone who surpasses Ai. And not even her daughter, aka Ruby, that is currently playing the role. And a lot of people are going to be like, why? Why is she like this? And for a little bit of background history here, this is the character that was rude to Ai, in the band that we knew for a very long time. But also, this is the character that was a part of the short story, which I covered in my last chapter review. But basically, to give context here, the short story was a Bikomachi member that was finding an old video or interview of Ai, and finding out that Ai had a lot more to her than meets the eye. No pun intended. And she, basically had this other side to her where she pushed aside the facade and wanted to be friends with the members of Bikomachi, even Nino, and Nino obviously deleted the entry from I that was unpublished like a draft, and just like, this isn't what I really is, and just kind of, threw it to the side, swept it under the rug, so to speak. So, Nino has already had a history of this obsessive nature with I. She's already had this toxic relationship with her where she didn't like her, but then you see that she doesn't want to accept reality that I wasn't exactly what she thought she was. She's not this god or deity. She's just a person that had a lot of flaws and had to put on a mask just to be able to make it in society. But obviously, a lot of people didn't want to view it like that. And so, when you look at the character Nino here and how she's acting, it's basically her saying she refuses to view I in any other way than the perfect idol that was pretty much the best idol that the world has ever seen. And so, to respect that memory of I, no one can surpass her. Anyone that comes close to surpassing her must be dealt with. That is pretty much what is being said here. So her motivation is basically saying, if anyone ever steps into the realm of surpassing I, they gotta die. They gotta go, so to speak. Ruin their career or whatever. So right now, this panel pretty much put Ruby in the crosshairs of death. She has a death flag on her head now, and could potentially die. Now, we've had a lot of death flags for a while now on Ruby, technically, ever since she kind of made that brief brush with her father. We knew for a fact that there was setup there. That was 20, 30 chapters ago, but we knew for a fact that that was ominous. But now with this, and how she is in communication with the father, yeah, this is, not good. Not good whatsoever. But, besides that, we need to talk about the crazy nature of this. People are going to view this as very exaggerated, like, why would she literally be like this? How could someone be so messed up in the head and want to basically deify I? Well, there is many real-world examples of stuff like this happening with idols. I mean, a good example of this is K-pop stans. Like, anyone that, ventures into that realm of, like, I guess the community, probably has known about the toxicity, or, even the toxicity of idols in Japan. It's both sides. But basically, you have it to where idols are just deified to such a level to where, like, they can't have any freedom. If they want to have a boyfriend, or have children, have a life, whatever, they're instantly just canceled and removed, and they can no longer do the career that they actually want to do. So we've seen this already within the story. The story of Oshinoko pretty much is kind of like a shining light on the toxic industry in general. So when you see this, it's just like an extension of that. That, the extension of how crazy she is what people actually do. People don't want to view someone in any other way, even if they know the truth that someone is different. They want to, believe that lie because they idolize them to such a high degree. So, yeah, it's, what a twist, honestly. Now, I want to talk about the predictability of this, because obviously people I have seen already talk about it, and there's nothing wrong with not liking this twist. I do want to clarify that. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Simple as that. But I do want to point out that, yes, was this predictable with Nino, being a traitor? It was predictable that she was working with Aqua and Ruby's father. Well, look, just because it's predictable doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It has been known for a very long time now that there was definitely some potential there that a Bikomachi member had it out for I, and potentially wanted her dead. And I feel like because of how long that theory has been around in the community, people, when they finally see this reveal, they're going to be like, that's it? That's the twist? Really? And not really be too shocked about it, or not really care much about it, or say it's bad. But the thing is that just because she predicted it doesn't mean it's bad. It actually means that the writing was there to actually have it happen. That sometimes predictability is good, because to, kind of sweep the rug out from underneath you to subvert your expectations could lead to some very bad writing. A good example of this is Game of Thrones' final season. Anyone that watched Game of Thrones' final season, and how the directors themselves basically subverted expectations just to make it unpredictable, even though it went against the writing itself, really ruined the final season. So that's what I'm getting at here. Just because it's predictable that she is someone that ratted out I probably, doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. But if you don't like it, you don't like it. Simple as that. Now, anyways, with all of that said and done, I feel very bad for, Kana. She is playing a villain, like, legitimately. Like, what this chapter reveals to us is that she is actually playing someone that doesn't just, let's say, hate I, and probably hates Ruby now, but someone that literally is responsible for Ai's death. It's very likely. And because of all of these elements, Kana's gonna have to play someone that is legit evil. Like, actually, probably one of the evilest roles she's ever played in her life, because she's actually playing a real-life villain, and she's kind of unaware of it. But, I'm curious how that's gonna be, because, obviously, with her playing that role, will Kana actually realize the true darkness of her role, or will she be oblivious to it? There's a lot of questions I have, but, I feel really bad for her. And also, another thing is Akane really lucked out by not playing Ai in this play, because if she did, the death flags that she's already had would have been even more insane, because we know now Ruby has a target on her back, thanks to playing the role. So if Akane had it, oh man, she would have been, oh yeah, she's already 6 feet under. 1 foot in the grave, so to speak. But, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. May all of you have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about this chapter of Oshinoko. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Be honest in the comments below. Love you guys. Chibi out.